I'm dreading. I gotta be honest. I'm kind of. Croco laughed at the dread joke because of playing Metroid. Get it, chat? I'm a bit dreading having to record the game. Not so much because of everything that's going on, but mostly because of my capture card. Just like still having those issues, and whether I'm streaming or not, the issues are still there, and a lot of like I cannot just easily nuke the things in this game quite like I could in the other three. So it definitely makes recording it a little bit harder when your like capture card just craps out on you. But I guess I'll find a way so I can make the videos and all that. Because there are a few videos that I feel like I could do and I can do regarding the game. I hope your capture card survives. Me too, dude. How else am I supposed to record like Xenoblade X and all these other stuff? It's sad because you only have a few hours left, I guess. Yeah, I mean, it's been quite a long experience compared to the other games, I guess. Just I know I remember game giving the fact that it's been like 6 hours, but I don't feel like I played 6 hours, right? Like you're on 4 or 5 keys. I think I'm about to fight the 4th boss. Yeah, the 4th boss. Lamuran kind couldn't change society, so instead of recollecting upon themselves, they blame the grievers. To infinity or beyond. Like what? Boost. Gosh, Brian. At your prime forsaking dialogue, yeah. I'll be honest. The thing I dislike the most is this. I don't really like how they just plaster the amiibos into the main menu like that. It's not like under the settings menu and then I go to amiibos, or on the main menu and then there's the amiibos. It's like every time I pause the game, I'm reminded about the $30, $30, and $40 unlockables that I don't have.
All we gotta do is make it down to the access gate.
Yeah, I guess I found Silex. He was in the menu screen all along.
Might still be out there.
Alright. No, we gotta go fight the chip that was attacking us the other day. Come on, Sarge, hurry up. Trying to see.
Here comes that cruiser again.
Oh my gosh. Oh shit, hover shuttle transport, primarily used to transport Cybots. Except for its cockpit window, the entire fuselage is covered in special alloy that negates all incoming attacks. Alright. No, not more Cybots. I just read about it. Why am I surprised? Alright. I found the strat the other day. Bully them into oblivion. No. Like, see, this was Prime 1, or Prime 2, or Prime 3. These Cybots would not stand a chance. But I guess Mackenzie's shots are not as strong as a regular beam, I guess. Whoa! No, capture card, no. I'm also surprised that like I haven't gotten something like super missiles or anything along those lines. I feel like I normally have super missile by this point. Most Metroid games, unless they're like ridiculously super powerful. Oh my gosh! Once again, I'm fighting the capture card just to keep that in mind. It goes dark on me every once in a while. I just hope that this guy doesn't make me have to use the psychic beam or troll beam, I guess. Oh gosh, that guy does not look friendly. Psychic beam!
Keep it up.
Yeah, I'll do it, Sarge. Maybe if you guys could like help me out, maybe. Do they even do damage? I'm assuming they do. The game's final boss was was the capture card all along. Thank you for the bit. You're not wrong. My references are what's that? Which references though? I mean, this reminds me of the time in Corruption where you had to be in Skytel destroying like the pirate gunship things that were trying to destroy the Theronian bomb, but like, wow. I feel like half of my shots in this game hit the target or not. Don't hit the target, no matter how much slight adjustments I do to the engines. You know, I try to lead my shots and stuff, but it almost feels like I'm not doing enough damage or something. Is this a boss of the area? No way, right? Oh gosh, come on. Hit the core. Silex hacked the capture card. Yeah, Silex just does not want me to see the origin stuff. That's my head. Silex is like trying to prevent me from getting the lore and making a video. Reminds me of the fight with the fire room by Armor Core. Oh, you mean the one from Chapter 2? Gosh, don't bring up Armor Core. We'd rather that's a proper Metroid game right there. It's even got Samus. His Air is the same voice actor, is the same as in this case. She's also Neil Nail in Xenoblade X. She's connected to all my brain rots, chat. I would be using songbirds right now. It's not that it's just a bunch of shots, but I feel like nothing I do really seems to be dealing effective, reliable damage. And the things in this game are just chunky in health. And my shots don't feel like they do any much more damage than my regular power. Hey, there we go. I feel like it takes longer than they need to. Almost like if it were padding. Hey, Silex? What? Hello? Alright, maybe he's close by.
Cruiser's down. It really messed
Everything
up
is a damage response in this
We'll
game.
have to find another way inside.
How did I know Silex was piloting that ship all... What?
Go, kid. It's up to Samus now. This whole facility's coming down. But we can
How did
stay
you know
alive
that?
Back at the control room. Buy you some time. You know what you need to do. Go get that key.
I guess I should turn on the
And be
subtitles.
quick about it, yeah?
Yeah,
We won't let you down.
guys, chillax. I've done this before several times. We're the good guys. Justice will prevail and all that stuff. They're pirates. How could they resist a price like that? That never would have happened if I'd been there. Then it's a shame you weren't. Where's Noxus though? Not here.
Samus, we're in the control room.
Wow.
We'll get set up in here. See what we can do.
Okay. Sweet, I guess. Oh, okay. We saw his arm activate the emergency bridge. No, yeah, I remember, but then like I had to go somewhere else, and I went to this whole ice section, and then I came back and I did not find Silex, and it turns out that Silex was on the ship. So it just feels kind of odd, you know? It's not like, alright, I came to the flare pool and I had to navigate my way through, and I ended up finding like Silex's secret facility. Oh, bigger Saiba! Oh, alright. Oh, but just like any other Saiba, I can bully them like that. Like, there was nothing to tell me that Silex was still a hero, or what he's trying to do. Like, or something new to fight. I'm just gonna take a safety save. Gotta fight my capture card again. Like there's a lot of rooms in this game that really look very pretty and impressive, but divides power to systems throughout the facility. Its emergency boiler uses liquid fuel. It's just I don't feel like I haven't seen anything to scan that would give me much of like a lore of what they might have been doing here, aside from I guess a cannon where they fire the green energy. But I haven't seen like a place where the Lamorne are like, all right, we did like the focus group testing of the green energy, and it was successful. So now we're moving on to the next phase of the plan, which is like we're doing it around the planet. But
Might work, but everything locked down after the explosion.
This positive, Sarge. We can do this. We have to.
do you though? Can you just let me do it? I'm the great Samosa. Like, this type of situations are my specialty. Bullying Cybots. Let's bully this one, though. No. 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 You don't get to play. No. Like, if that's the way to quick kill them, I'd rather just have, like, the incinerator beam from, like, Prime 1 or like the ice beam missile combo, you know? At least I get that satisfaction of like the... Alright. So there's no more exploration. There was no exploration at all. Missile? Yeah. I miss Gandrada. You know what, chat? Well, give me a second. I need my emotional support. I'm apologize if I'm like sound a little bit runny and stuff like that. I'm a little bit with a flu. Not too bad. If I were feeling worse, I wouldn't be streaming, but you know. Still there. Oh. Alright, here's my emotional support. There she is. Gosh. There we go. Emotional support Gandrada. I definitely think the beam damage is bugged. Yeah, I mean, I don't think like anything deals more damage. I don't think anything like... it's not like in the original Prime, where you got like the wave beam and it could home better onto the enemies and paralyze them, or the ice beam which like freezes them and then you get to like, as I mentioned, immediately destroy the enemies, but the fire rate and the bullet travel is atrocious, or the instant killness of the plasma beam at the end game so that you can just fight better and stuff like that. So like I don't feel I'm any stronger now than I was when I started playing this game. Feels like playing Corruption sometimes, but without the PED suit. I wouldn't even say it feels like playing with Corruption, because at least in Corruption, like the environments were a little bit more involved, and the dialogue wasn't as intrusive, and there was platforming, and there was a little bit of backtracking and puzzle solving, and there was some great music and great set pieces and moments. Like, I haven't really seen anything so far in this game that I would like want to go back and re-experience or relive. Yeah, I'm doing the. It's definitely me doing the Wolverine meme picture with Gandrada, Bray, and it's 100%. I don't know. It's just like I like Gandrada because, like, as I've always said, it's like the one Metroid character who doesn't just like, oh my gosh, you're Samus, you're so cool. You know, I kind of like the lore where Gandrada sees Samus as like her one true rival in competition. This lady's a shapeshifter. Oh my gosh, is that a new enemy? No way. And then the sass and the sarcasm and how they were able to like transmit all of that with little lines of dialogue, and then this sort of lore behind her planet and her species, and her boss fight being like a whole fall from grace story. The beam is bugged, or the damage output is off. I think both. I don't know. It's just like I got the fire shot and the ice shot, and I haven't found a scenario in which they seem better than the. Alright, it's a fire boss. It's a blight boss. Oh my gosh. Whoa. It's a big like noodle dragon. Sweet. Oh my gosh, how am I gonna fight this thing? Benoros. Orb-based life form that inhabits flare pools. Matrahada volcano. Why didn't they tell me that name before? Its skin is covered in mineral molecules, and its body is over 150 meters in length. Green energy in Virus's lava could allow it to survive indefinitely. Why? The form organic tissue has been exposed on its body surface as a result of Metroid fusion. Why? So like, is like Phazon, I guess, green energy? Or the Metroid fusion? I'm so confused. It's like green energy and Metroid fusions, but I don't know where Silex is and what he has to do with either. It swims through and ingests lava, extracting and consuming any green energy present in a flexible organic membrane. It can grow more than 150 meters in size. Metroid fusion has resulted in some dilation of the internal membrane, exposing it on the surface in the creature's body, leaving it vulnerable to damage. Destroying es exposet áreas renders de creature immobile. It is able to use absorbed green energy to regenerate lost or damaged portions of its body, and though its regenerative effect is limited in the short term. Alright, that doesn't really tell me much about the lore, but I do like the whole like, oh, this guy can grow 150 meters and like, huh. Alright. Still nothing to do with Celix. Oh, something scam.
Samus, you better hurry. This facility isn't.
There's gotta be something we can do.
I never know when I'm scanning, and I kind of don't like that. Ow. I forgot that there's a boss. Oh, okay, so I gotta. Okay, yeah. I've played enough video games to know what I have to do. Scan the other thing, right? This is my favorite boss, to be honest. Well, at least it's like actually using the viola, I guess, you know. It's like I was hyped to see what type of stuff they would find to incorporate the bike with the rest of this game. So I'm glad that at least one of the things is like a cool lava chaser boss type of stuff, even though I don't really feel it's quite what I would consider a Metroid boss, I guess. But I like the variety. It's at least using the bike. The Great Machine Era bike. According to my buddy Deadway, who is, I believe, still in the chat, apparently Samus was the only one who had to do the sort of initiation license exam, which I guess it's hilarious in context. So all these Lamorne were riding these bikes without licenses. Can't I scan these things? They keep going away. Yep, according to the lore. Keep scanning the thing, not the enemies. Yeah, there we go, there we go, there we go, there we go, there we go. Blow hopper. Sweet, that sucked. Why do they have to run away so quickly and not be able to see? On top of the fact that you're being chased by a giant sandworm, lava worm. You know, this could have been a sandworm. I'm just saying. That would have been too much on the nose, maybe. Unlike a Morgus. It eats the green energy, just like the sandworms generate and eat the spice, you know? Scanning of Viola can be so butt, it's booty cheeks, dude. Try to change your configurations. A giant Magmor. Yeah, no, you're right. I kind of see it. Well, the original Metroid Prime was supposed to have a boss in Magmor Carbons, which was, I guess, great, but never happened. Not my bike! No? Okay, now we get to fight it. Oh. Okay. This definitely feels like a next level games boss from Federation Force. Significant organic tissue mass resulting from Metroid fusion detected. Oh, I can scan the body. Alright. Do I gotta open those? When cannon maintenance lift descents, locked by default. Huh. I will say this game does have backtracking and puzzle solving, but the interconnected maze-like structure is sorely missing. I wouldn't even call it backtracking, because the one time in the entire game that I've had to backtrack is to Vault Forge to get the IC suit. And it was literally get on the bike, go to Tower 3, spin boost, collect the suit, and get back out. I didn't have to like traverse to a new region in Vault Forge using my new abilities to maybe find that thing. So like, it's only been that one time. And then the puzzle solving is just like placed there because it's like a quota thing. But most of the game is what I'm doing here. Shoot enemy, Federation member talks to you, fight Cybots. Like, this entire area was fight Cybots. There was no, like, puzzles or exploration. How do I get around, like, you know, phase on mines or something along those lines. Oh my gosh, command grabs? Shit. Well, that's already an energy tank gone. What the fuck? Wow. And I've only like dealt zero damage to it. I don't feel like even Echoes was like this, you know? Because in Echoes I had like ways that I could like deal massive damage because of the beam system. What the fuck? Keeps moving. Alright, just recognize the thing. Just recognize the thing. That's the command. The Aurora units weren't as annoying. I think they were annoying, but definitely not as annoying as the troopers here, because most of the Aurora unit felt like it was helping progress the story with the Federation doing more research into the PED system and what could have happened to the other hunters. Or flavor text on what's going on, versus here where it's mostly the characters just saying the things that I know and always chiming in. Yeah, I wish that the game, I agree, I wish that the game gave me the option like in Corruption where I could just have the regular lock-on that focuses on the target, or the lock-on and then I have to do the aiming as well. It definitely feels the most shooter out of the Metroid games. If I were to say anything, you know? Shoot the target. Now the boss is there. Let me guess, gonna swing his head as he opens up his weak point. So I can't deal massive damage to it. Is it really that just doing this deals the most damage? I'm already half health. It's kind of funny. Just shooting regular power beam is more sustainable than this is. Right? Oh, okay, so now we got even more.
Samus, we found an escape pod.
Okay.
Use it to escape the facility.
Yeah, then go and escape, man. Why are you telling me these things? Too busy here fighting Fenoros. Fenoro these Metroids. Aha, got it. Alright, so now that's up to us. Also, they give me like the small shell pickups. Rarely do I see an orange shell pickup. Or a blue one for that matter. Yeah, I scanned the platform that said that the tail was stopped working. It's pretty cool. But, where am I, Lord? Where am I? It's like, I really haven't had the need to use my new beams, aside from bullying the Cybots. Oh, what the heck? Wow, that beam was nasty. Hit an entire energy tank. I don't think I even had time to, like, identify that he was doing an attack. Red energy drop. No energy drop. No energy drop. Small. I got 30 health back, even though the attack did one energy tank worth of damage, and I destroyed all 5 works. How is this? How is this fair? I don't even remember the Omega Power being stingy with the health pickups. Hey. No? Imagine Orpheon touching your capture card right now. I know, Orpheon messed up with a capture card the other day. Fenoris is incapacitated after taking damage to its tongue. It will not recover if its core, which is down its throat and deep within the body, is destroyed. Oh, cool. But yeah, like, I'm pretty sure that Orpheon touched the capturing card and it cursed it.
Escape pod.
We might need your help to fix it.
Alright, capture card, don't fail me now. Oh. I really thought that I probably would have had to jump into its mouth and like, oh, yeah, look at this. Wow. Yes. Ah, if only I was like morph balling to just plant the bomb instead of, well, bam. I messed this up and thought I was driving the bike down there. That would have been my thought if it weren't for the fact that I remembered what type of game I'm playing. If I feel like if this was any other Prime game, then yes, the answer would be morph ball. Like, get on the bike and morph ball in there. Kind of like a Morbis or Flagra. But I doubt that any of these bosses will incorporate the morph ball in an intentional way. I thought that like Harvex would do it with when he set up the vines, but I could just walk under them. I got stuck here on my playthrough because I forgot about the control beam and thought I had to get there myself. I'm kind of glad I'm not the only one who's been thinking about like, alright, it's a Metroid game, boss open mouth, go in there as the morph ball and nuke it, you know? It's kind of sad that it's not the case. You didn't scan it? What do you mean? I scanned it. I scanned it. Scanned it before I even fired the thing. What are you talking about? No, I got the grapple beam. Okay. mean, it's a Metroid Prime game. It's only the item percentage that matters. Scans is usually like, you know, concept art and stuff like that rewards. Alright. Gaslighting from the chat is real. Always has been. Just like when they try to tell me stuff about my lizard. Yeah, there he is. So in the lore, these guys were entrusted by the Lamorne, and we're just going to hand over the keys willingly. That guy, the big snake, he was going to just be like, hey, what's up? Here you go. But the Metroids infected them and ruined the plan. No way. That's really it? Wow. So there's like no trial, it just... So how do the Lamorne know? Why am I the chosen one? How do the Lamorne know that I'm the chosen one? Because it smells like Tombo Leezer. See what I mean about the gaslighting? You scan the grapple beam? No. Yeah, I remember that the first boss game said they were greatly intelligent and all this other stuff, but I just don't like it because they don't have much of a rhyme or reason to. Oh, self-destruct sequence. Nice. Yay! Alright, let's get out of here. Oh? Oh. In here I thought that maybe I had to go back out with my bike and like be quick and shit. But alright, I'll take it. I'll do this in the insane. Yeah, I know that they were all buddy-buddy until the Metroid Fusion, but it still seems silly. The Lamorne were like, alright, whenever this Chosen One shows up, you just gotta give them the thing. It's not like the Entrusted One prophecy, where it's like, if they find all the artifacts, then that'll be the proof that they're the Entrusted One. Meanwhile, I feel here like I landed on Lamorne, and 2 seconds later being called the Chosen One. But I guess they'll explain why it is him. It's like they decide on a vision or some shit. Shooting work. Grapple point can be removed with a strong pull. Oh. Oh. Okay. Come on, capture card. Did I make it? Okay, yeah, I did.
Sarge, the console isn't responding. Maybe we should try to reboot it.
I'll pry this panel off. See if I can hardwire it.
I thought you guys had like a escape pod. Oh, whoop. Oh, I still made it at least. Doesn't have quite the same swing. I'll read chat in a bit. I'm fighting the capture card during the escape sequence.
It's not working. I can't fix this thing.
Samus? I'm not sure how much longer we can hold out.
What do you mean? Yeah, I think you guys are done so. Sarge Armstrong, I'm sorry to say, but I think you guys are done so. Mackenzie will be sad for sure. And Tobiko. Takabi? What was his name? I keep mispronouncing his name. I don't know why. Or misremembering it, I should say.
Samus!
There she is! Samus! Over here!
We're in the escape pod.
You're in the escape pod, okay.
Samus! We need your help. We can't activate the escape pod yet.
Must have been damaged at some point.
I thought I just needed to run away out of here, and then these guys would have already made it out with the escape pod. But no, I guess we need another cutscene. I'll stay behind. I've done this before.
Understood. Lock in, Private.
Yes, sir.
Alright, bye-bye guys. Imagine I activate the escape pod and like it like explodes. Oh, I gotta press a button. And then 2 minutes for me to escape.
Samus? Samus! No! No! We can't just leave her!
Trust that she'll make it out.
This is not her first time in a self-destruct sequence. She makes it out every single time. Armstrong, biggest Samus fangirl. Also Armstrong doesn't know that this is like Samus's bread and butter.
Oh, hello.
Thank you for the follow. Appreciate it. To be fair, the GF soldiers don't have a bike that can pass the magma floor. Yeah, I guess you're right, but like, I don't know. I would have written that they used the escape pod and they managed to escape while I was fighting Fenoros. Because now I didn't even get to use the bike to be part of the escape sequence. You know? It was just reach this room and watch the cutscene. I had 2 minutes to spare. Yeah. Oh my gosh, thank you for the sub, dude. King Bash? Is that how you say it? Thank you so much. Really appreciate it, man. Oh? Uh-oh. Hold on, Mike. That was my capture card. It decided to die. Hold up a minute. Wow. Let me get that back online again. El gato murió. No puede ser. That would be too funny. Oh. Hold up a minute. Oh. Speaking Windows. Yeah, I need a new capture card at some point. I might start like a little fundraiser or whatever. I think my server cursed it, my bad. No you didn't. It was the game. The game cursed the capture card. Let me restart it. Huh. Oh, this is truly odd. I think we're back. Yeah, we're back. All right, there we go. Sweet. At least it wasn't like during a boss fight or whatever. A bike has a limiter in the area. Oh yeah, right. But King Bash, thank you so much for the sub and the follow, dude. It really means a lot. I really appreciate it. Yeah, the capture card was just like, nope, no, El gato more like el cuito. All right, there we go. Let's get back to it. Oh no, my immersion is ruined. No, not again. I didn't even look at it funny. Wow. Wow. Capture cars trying to save you. Damn. I mean, I don't like the sound of that. Alright, I think it's back. I guess that capture card was beyond its capabilities. Wouldn't be an Orpheon stream without El Gato difficulties. Yeah, we're back at that, Mewtwo. We're back at that. Alright. Let's hope that it doesn't happen again. At least, you know, this game takes forever loading screens, so I didn't miss anything, I guess. It's just like, what's the point of having a self-destruct sequence in a lava section when I don't even, in a game that has a bike and I can't use the bike? Considering the artifacts were activated by accident, is Samus really the chosen one, or was it just coincidence? Like, oh, if you're here, then you must be it. The way the prophecy of the Chozos in Prime 1 was that if the entrusted one is really the entrusted one, they would know because it's the Chozo warrior who managed to collect the power-ups they left and break the seal leading to the impact crater. But in here, it almost seems like the moment I landed on the planet and I touched the stone, that Chatoya's ghost was like, "You're the chosen one." Orpheon memes, become my blade once more. I think I already scanned this on the last stream, but... Or maybe not, because there's a power-up over there. Or maybe I just didn't grab the power-up like a dummy. We'll see. No, I already scanned it, alright. So... I guess we... I got grapple beam, so I could go to that room in Bolt Forge.
Congratulations, you found another key. Only one key left. If you're wondering where to go, take a look at the map.
You don't say, Mackenzie. It's like, I felt like I didn't do anything in the escape sequence. I just grapple beamed a few places, made it to a room, watch a cutscene where there's no tension. Because Armstrong is like, Samus, no! And then Samus, it cuts to black, and then Samus is immediately out. Or Flare Pool. I didn't even get a call from her or Armstrong. Sorry, or Duke, being like, oh, Samus, we made it. We're safe, thank you. Like, you know? Like, what? Nothing happened. There was an escape sequence because it's a Metroid game and we needed the escape sequence as a quota to sell it as a Metroid game. Just like putting random power-ups for you to collect. There's no vertical platforming. There's no lore. And I still don't know why Silex is controlling the Cybots, I guess. Or what's his deal. Or what's the green energy and where it comes from. Or how the Lamore knew it was going to help him. I kept calling him MacGuffin, and I blame you, Albert. MacGuffin? Who is MacGuffin? The Fed Troopers do feel like MacGuffins. So, okay, that way, I don't know if you're still in the chat, but... This force field that Lamorne puts around Chrono Tower. How is the Chosen One supposed to take it down? I'm assuming that the scavenger hunt at the end is going to be the mech parts for Benson, because they set that up in the beginning, and I'm finding all these Federation facilities. So that so I'm assuming that with that, we'll use the cannon to kill Silex or so much. I don't know, maybe they'll explain how I'm supposed to go back into the tower later. Again, it doesn't have the same rhyme or reason as the Valhalla suddenly being discovered, or Chozo Temple being accessible since the start of the game. Little by little, I feel like this game is more like Halo 4. No, this game's not that. It's definitely that. Chat. It feels more like that than it does. It's got the bells and whistles that want to make you think it's a Metroid game because you go back into a few areas, maybe here and there. But when you go back and look at like the original one, which by the way, it's remastered, $40 on the same system, runs at a higher frame rate. Unless you're playing the Switch 2 version of Prime 4, I guess. But I'm not. You go into the frigate Orpheon, and from the first couple of rooms, they're already, like, the scans, even though they don't go into the locker room. They're already dropping names and hints about what the story is going to be about. Like, you already learn about a radioactive substance that was being moved, and that it's called Phazon or whatever thing it's called Phazon. And that the pirates in this facility were doing experiments on those tiny little parasites that you see in the beginning of the game, and they mutated to these giant things through radiation. So you have enough context clues to kind of put together that something terrible is going on, because these are space pirates. And they all got, like, oblibabusted, destroyed by this whatever thing, so... And then I'm seeing all these Federation troopers and how they fanboy about Samus. So it feels like an MCU movie. So, like, I feel like the more I play this game, there's more questions than answers. And not in the good way where like, oh, there's more layers to the plot and I don't know what. You know? Let's hope that we won't. This doesn't mean we'll have a Halo 5. I don't know, chat. From what I'm seeing in this game, that seems like the direction that they want to go, and it's the direction I guess the community wanted to go with the Evil Federation. Samus is like a renegade, and they're hunting her down type of stuff that people have been saying since Future. But I certainly feel like I've been shooting action-packed scenarios more than like exploration or platforming. Alright, my guess is that it's definitely not in Flare Pool, because I just came out of that. It wouldn't be a Metroid game that wouldn't make me like go back to the same area. I doubt it's anything in Fury Green, because I don't see anything else that I can do use the grapple beam on Fury Green. Let me check. What was it? Ice Belt? This is Ice Belt. This map also is not as fast as the other Prime game. That's just a save station. Well, there are those rooms, but there's the Thunder, so I cannot go there. And I don't remember anything with a grapple beam anywhere in here. Okay. I do remember that one room in Bolt Forge at the very, very bottom of the tower. That. Whichever tower it was. Yeah, there. The floor was electrical and stuff. Now that I have the grapple beam. Where's Anthony when you need him? I really like... I miss Anthony, Maurice, and KG, and even that shit-eating grin of James. Because I felt like I got a little bit more personality out of some of these guys than these troopers. Because I got Mackenzie, who's just like, you know, your usual engineer dork. I kind of like him. I miss my husband Ahmad. And then you have Sarge, who's, I guess, Tokavi, who's just the Mandalorian at home. Or so it seems to be the impression based on how he talks and his creed with Solon. Then there's Sarge, who's just like your gruff soldier dude. Doesn't quite give me anything to go by. And Armstrong is just a fangirl rookie. I just hope there's like a B-boot robot or whatever. 14 update up here. The first thing I'm doing, MSQ? Nah, it's crafting time, baby! Yeah, it's time to craft. What do you mean crafting time? First thing I'm doing, crafting? Nah, I'm doing glamour. I'm going into my glamour dresser and spending the first 3 hours just trying to see whatever the fuck new glamps I can do now that it unlocked anything works on anything. Anthony does have, unironically, does have a great relationship with Samus. Like, he generally feels like he understands her, and their conversations are genuinely wholesome. For real, like, I feel like the reason I like Anthony is precisely because of that. Because with how little the two talk with each other, you can already tell that there's some history in the way that they move and behave and act and react to each other, and the conversations and stuff like that. And here I'm just seeing two Federation troopers who are Samus fangirls and fanboy, and then another sort of bounty hunter who's not nearly as interesting or depthful as the other guys. Like, aside from the fact that he's got like a little belief in the Metroid game. They're not like even like silly art type tropes, and it's like played for tongue-in-cheek laughs. And with how stiff Samus is in this game, which I don't know why they reverted back to like stiff Samus when I feel like Echoes and Corruption did such a great way at like giving her some form of visual language, body language and stuff like that. that in the one game where she's got other characters, she doesn't really use any of it. So like, and I do like the fact that they're trying to dehumanize her maybe, because then you have all the Federation troopers, so it makes Samus more of this imposing figure. But they don't even lean on that side because all the Federations just talk and touch and hug Samus like it were like nothing. Like no boundaries type of stuff that you would have with like intergalactic legendary bounty hunter saved my ass several times Samus are, Some people are asking for Echoes and Corruption to come to the Switch. Yeah, I'm one of them, but I would rather them remaster it. And going back to the whole stiff Samus, like in the original Metroid Prime, Samus was at her stiffness, but like, that was a 2002 game. In this one, I feel like they spent a lot of their budget into making it look pretty and cinematic. But there's no body language to Samus. Even in the original Prime remaster, they went back and like tweaked the animations to give Samus a little bit less rigidity in her movements and her height and stuff that I don't know why. Now I'm in another loading screen. Like, I don't know. I feel like maybe, I hope that maybe the fact that this game has all these, like, whatever the story like Samus is, will make people appreciate at least Other M for trying to give us something, while also being transparent at it being a different game. Because none of this feels Metroid Prime. I also don't know how I feel that we don't see, like, the eyes behind Samus's visor even when she's alone.
Try looking at the map. See if there are any areas you haven't searched yet.
I can't go to into the last area. I'm assuming it's like a mines because it's like built underground and stuff. And this game is reminding me a lot of Metroid Prime 1 SS. I don't know if I'm the only one who's sort of feeling like a soft reboot, Force Awakens if you may. With the original Prime, I'm asking, see if it's just me that I'm reading too much into it. Silex rates on Federation outpost means he should be a known threat. The Feds should be dropping the lore tidbits, yet they are simultaneously over-represented and underutilized so far. On another note, have you turned in any grain crystals yet? I've turned a few. I've turned in these, but I completely agree with you. I feel like I don't know why the Lamorne are here. Like, I felt that the game was just going to be focused more maybe with a Federation story and fleshing out Silex, so that it makes sense to have these Federation troopers, given that Silex hates the Federation, so that where you would have an excuse to just throw tidbits of lore or set the stage and stuff like that, but no. I forgot that I'm in Elevator Forge. This room has 3 elevators and 3 rooms. It's got the best song in the game, in my opinion. I didn't really like Flarepool's theme. I thought Fury Green's theme was okay. Certainly no Talent Overworld or Torvus. But yeah, I feel like I'm getting, whenever I play this, I feel like I'm getting a reboot of Metroid Prime. We got the Plasma and Ice Beam. Now we're getting, I guess, at some point, the Thunder Beam. So it's kind of like the Wave Beam, but we're collecting them in the opposite order. It's a game where an ancient alien civilization got fucked up by some colored substance, green energy phazon, that would force mutations on the wildlife. There's a research facility in the ice region, a great temple in the forest region, sort of energy production center in the lava region. It plays the original Metroid Prime music, and when you get the whole bike thing. It's like, without any of the extra lore, it's where my mind wanders. I knew more about the Phazon by this point without entering Phazon mines than I know about the green energy. And part of that is because when I went to the Fendrana Space Pirate facility, they were doing more experiments there, kind of like the Lamorne were doing it in Icebelt. But the scans there, even the minor ones, gave you more hints and clues of what are the pirates planning and what are like the next stages. Like, it made sense that they had like a plan. Begrudgingly, you'll have to fight this guy. Oh, why does that one shatter? Did you read about the entry about Carvex in the Lamorne room? I think so. I'm not quite sure, but I think I did it. I'm pretty sure I did when I went to get the fire shot or the ice shot. The lava snake fight was meh, in my opinion. Yeah, it was kind of whatever-ish. Have you found and read the Lamorne research and tablets? Yes, but they don't give much. They give like surface level stuff compared to what the other lores were giving. I just know that there was something terrible going on, and the reveal that, as I had suspected, the Grievers are just Lamorne, and that they fucked up their research facility. But then they also talk about like firing up to the environment and all this other stuff, but there's no signs or research that like, yeah, this could work at blah blah blah. They just didn't. To be honest, I quite like the game. Very atmospheric and feels consistent in my mind. I don't, because it doesn't. It's consistent with itself, but it's not consistent with the other Prime games. It really feels like they made this game into a sort of like a AAA shooter-style game, and then they threw in the Metroid things of atmosphere and items and puzzles and morph balls to just convince me that it's a Metroid game. But like, in Phase on Mines or Fendrana Drifts, they would be asking me to like jump around like in the Fendrana's Edge section to go up or down, and here it's just take another elevator so that we can load more of the game. So I feel like a lot of the time I'm just sitting there and just taking in the atmosphere, and if that's the case, I'd rather just be playing Grow Country or Signalist or countless other indie horror games that I think do a better job at being a Metroid adventure with the puzzles and item progressions and stuff like that, and not to mention the lore. It feels like to me that Retro really wanted to bring back Phase-On in some way, with the way they depict the green energy, but Nintendo said no. Yeah, the amount of cut content is actually insane. Basically 35 minutes of characters interaction base camp. The problem is, in my opinion, is that like the base camp mechanic should have just been something like, alright, if it's in the original Metroid Prime game, kind of like the gunship room, where you are not forced to go back at it, but you can go back at it because, or sometimes you have to go back at it because it's the closest way or it's in your way. And you'll catch up with a crew at base camp, and then you see the different flavor text and stuff like that. But here, every time I get a beam upgrade, I have to go. I don't just put it on my arm cannon and it works. I have to go back to base camp. So it feels like it's shoehorned. Boy, oh boy, this is like a big room. Big circular room. At the bottom of Vault Forge. I surely wish that there's no boss fight that shows up. Seguru? What is Seguru? I love the fact that there's part of the GF but zero space pirates. I would have preferred if there was neither one or the other, and it's just us with the Lamorne. Or us with Silex and the Lamorne. Some of them fleshes out the characters, others had insanely well manga references. Why was that cut? Seguru is the manga when the manga was a Federation currency. Ah, okay. Okay, gotcha. I don't know, I think it would have been cool if maybe like Sarge was like a Norian survivor. And then throughout that entire thing, he was like, don't worry, Armstrong, Samus will help us, just like she did in Norian or some other shit, you know? Like, if you want to throw the I know what that is, and like you could and add to the world building. If you just picture it like, alright, Sarge was just some whatever random Federation trooper who was then there at Norian with a Leviathan attack. And then after that, and seeing how Samus did that whole thing motivated him to just get better and eventually climb up the ranks, so that way when Samus shows up, he's like, no way, holy crap, you know? Oh, okay. Speaking of which, let's go back and talk to Mackenzie again. This is not backtracking. It's cool they threw in Norian Fury. Oh my gosh, that's a thing. Oh, Silux! Ah! Ha! Ha ha! Scan lock. Maybe I have lore. Oh. No lore. Oh, okay. Thunderstone. God. Where are you, Silux? Why do you hate me? Why do you hate the Federation? How did you get these powers? What are you doing in Lemoyne? Did you know about the artifact? Or was this your plan all along? Oh. Sweet. Oh, I guess I'm supposed to shoot it. So he stops. Ah, okay. I mean, I guess it kind of sucks because I can't shoot him as I'm grappling. Like I thought that now that I could aim it, because in Echoes and Corruption I could grapple, can't I? I mean, I guess I want to use the new ball. Gosh. It's so cool. Where are you at? Why is your shock coil attacks green all of a sudden? Alright, that's a bit silly, but it's a cool attack. This kind of reminds me of Mortal Kombat where the characters have, for whatever reason, required to use their special moves to just move a few feet. It's like if you saw Ryu using the Tatsumaki, just move backwards a little bit. Alright. This is it. Yeah, I guess it's okay. Alright, Silex. I just don't like that it showed up out of nowhere. There was no triumphant build-up or spooky build-up, like the pirate, like Dark Samus showing up in Echoes. You had to go through this entire pirate facility in Agon Wastes, which was, may I remind you, the whole reason why we're in Aether, because these Federation troopers followed those pirates. And they found more phazon deposits, and then you're in the Morph Ball, and you see the pirate commanders going into the Dark Aether portal, and then you see Dark Samus in the middle of it, and you're just like this entire build-up, and then you go to Dark Samus, and they have like this crazy phazon. It's the second time they meet, because in the first time they meet, at the beginning of the game, Dark Samus almost kills Samus, but she didn't take the shot when she had the chance. No puede ser. No puede. Oh, the game in Silex overshadowed the commentary. Thanks for letting me know. Son, I am disappointed. Yeah, I mean... Chad, I don't know, like, when Dark Samus showed up in Echoes, the game does this fantastic way at establishing her as a threat, with how they first encounter each other at the beginning of the game, mid-confusion of these dead troopers resurrecting and all this other stuff, after Samus has to jump into a hole, mind you. And then later on, you build the game, and Dark Samus is just sitting in the back of your mind until she shows up again in the Agon Wastes, and then they have these cool, like, close-ups at each other because they both know what they are about, and shit like that. And it's the tension rises before Dark Samus shoots at Samus, because Samus waits for the enemy to shoot her first, right? And then you fight them, and it's got this crazy Dark Samus boss fight music with the electric guitar, and Dark Samus uses her abilities to destroy the environment around you to just demonstrate how powerful she is with a Phazon, and how she runs away from your visor. Scan log, and you then, and then after you beat her, she goes through this whole explosion thing, and she crumbles into the floor, destroying all the Phazon in the room, and dies. And you just left there going like, did I actually do it? Did I kill it? And then you get the Dark Beam, and then you just get to use the Dark Beam. And then immediately after getting the Dark Beam, you go through the portal that the pirate troopers had gone into earlier in the Agon Waste, which you do see go in there. And then you find them all dead at the other side of the portal, because none of them were equipped for Dark Aether, because this was like the first time the pirates had like traversed into Dark Aether and shit. And of course, in true space pirate dumbfuckery, they died. And here I just felt like I walked in, Silex showed up for no reason. There was this close-up, and then we started fighting, and then I beat him, and he's a Cybot, and now I gotta go talk to Mackenzie. And then, like, is this really it? What they did with Silex? Gosh, I feel kind of scammed in that regard. Not to mention that I've been fighting the same 2 or 3 enemies this entire game. I feel like Nintendo just like gave up, yeah, and like released the game just to make their money. And like, all he does is sprinkle a few Metroids on the main bosses. Does he, though? Because, like, nothing confirms that. And just because he had them in the beginning and stuff like that, like, I was expecting that to be a bigger conspiracy before the game came out, based on what we had. Like, Silex knew about the artifact, and he was trying to use it to, like, warp back in time, and he found himself coming into the Lamorne time earlier and introduced this Metroid thing, which is the green energy, and the Lamorne just did not know better. And like, Silex is using this to just mutate the planet so he can have an army with the teleporter that he can just like, an army of mutated creatures he can just start unleashing in the cosmos through the whatever teleporter that the Lamorne built in the artifact. And that way he can start conquering the galaxy. And then the B side, it's Samus trying to help the Lamorne by not only stopping Silex, but also helping them with carrying their legacy onto the new world and stuff like that with the fruit, you know? And that, similar to how in Echoes we were visiting different time worlds, because of the way Tanabe sentenced the whole I wanted to go to different time periods, I thought that maybe like Soul Valley and all of these areas would be small, but they're bigger because you just hop into the portal and now you're back in the past or in the future or some other shit. And that way you can stop like how Silex is meddling with the present. I don't know, man. Like, I had so many ideas of where they could go with the story. Not needing Lamorne or anything, just with Silex being a villain and having Metroids on his side. Have you beat the game yet? No. This is literally the playthrough. Which, by the way, all of this is going to the VOD channel after a while, Orpheon Station. I also have there, I'll take the opportunity since I'm just watching a loading screen again, and I have to watch another loading screen to get to Mackenzie. If you want to see those, there's Orpheon Station. That's usually like where I put VODs for some of the streams in there. So, you know what's sad? What's actually sad? The most important part of the lore of this game is not in the game. Instead, Nintendo released vital lore via Nintendo Today, which makes the story better. Can somebody just link me that stuff? Because I don't want to download an app to read the lore that should have been in my $60 purchased game. Why do I need to go to the Nintendo dedicated app to read about the lore of the game when all of the other Metroid Prime games felt like a great Metroid game and then a book on top of it with the lore. Honestly, I wouldn't be fond of Nintendo using time travel as a plot device yet again, even though admittedly would have made the story better than what we got. I mean, I feel like there's ways that you can implement it. I concur with like another time travel story, but Metroid really hasn't had one at that point, and I think like you can definitely take a different angle than like what Zelda has done and stuff like that, especially given that Metroid focuses, or well, Metroid Prime games and stuff tend to focus on fleshing out the lore.
You found new reward tech in Vault Forge. Come on back to base camp so I can take a look.
No fucking shit, Mackenzie. It's literally explaining why Silex Metroids are different. Did you guys saw that? Did the game just sort of like froze and I'm not tweaking, aren't I? Please tell me I'm not tweaking. Like, I wouldn't even say there's like a step in the right direction with this game. I feel like we took several steps in the wrong direction. The only thing I can think of a few things that I guess it did good, but it definitely froze. It does that in the desert and Switch 1 sometimes. Wow. Wow. Is there a way to read it that's not via a fandom wiki? Just out of curiosity. Isn't there a way that I can just read this out of a Nintendo website without having to use a website that I don't quite like because of all the advertisement? Isn't it like on Shinesparkers or Metroid Database? I'll go visit while we are in the loading screen. Metroid Database. Let's give my friends a good old shout out. There's nothing else I can do. It's literally, I got the power up, I fight Silex, loading screen, get the beam, and I'm pretty sure I'm gonna have to loading screen. I just cannot believe it. Yeah, I also have an ad blocker turned on to the max, but you know, I'd rather not support websites that do that type of stuff. We gotta save the internet, guys. Oh my gosh. Like, there's so much that if you go searching in the Tanabe interviews from when the game was teased and all that stuff, that I thought was gonna happen in general over here. What you want to read is the World Data Book. That's what the article is called. I just find it bullshit. It's like putting a band-aid. It's like Destiny, the bullshit they did for Destiny, you know? Just because it's suddenly there's some new lore that you're retroactively putting into the game rather than in the form of scannables and stuff. It's like, bruh. I'll judge the game for what's in the game, because I didn't need to go search for like third-party sources for the lore in the other 3 games. It was mostly like I wanted more finer details and shit like that. Now I'm gonna go to Mackenzie. He's gonna be like, "Wow, Electro Shot."
Holy cow! Samus! I knew you'd make it out of there.
Cows confirmed
Because
in
you're
Metroid
Samus
universe.
You're not dead. Excellent.
Sarge, come on. She saved our lives.
Yeah, I know. Glad you made it out. Thank you. Anyway, we could use a breather. Let me know if you need anything. Let's
Well,
go,
on
Jim.
one of the world moment where 90% of the lore is stuck in $20
Don't know what we do without you.
buckle book. Yeah. Prime 4 was rushed. I have no explanation, but to be honest, after 7 years of development, it is incredibly disappointing. I mean, the thing is like, the original Metroid Prime had like a hellish development cycle. It was like hell. And then you see the game that came out of the other end.
What about that? Wait, hold on.
Hey, Samus. I was finally able to get here after my leg was fixed up.
Hold still.
I am.
I'm almost done.
He's been saying that for an hour.
Alright, how's that? Better?
I can't see.
Don't worry, there's not much
About
to
now?
see.
Good.
Welcome back, Samus. You found a new chip, right? Let me
Yes.
see it.
So when people say GF, I keep thinking girlfriend instead of Galactic Federation. Then I don't read my scripts. Chat. Chat, alright, hold on. I found something worth. Bananas in Metroid. Balatro bananas in Metroid. That's kind of cute. Any flavor text from you guys since I'm here? No.
Mackenzie told me we can get home by using a teleporter. Wild.
How does he know? How does he know that we can do that? Whoa, what is that? Is that like what the beam? Oh,
Let me see what you brought me.
alright.
This also looks like a circuit with a chip inside.
I see it as just like the same reason that the DK like retro games had like the Metroid Easter eggs with the Samus gunship and the Crocomire
Just
skull.
like I thought. With a few tweaks, you'll be able to use a new shot.
Can I just put this on my arm cannon and call it a day? It's what I do anyways.
Sometimes I surprise even myself. This one's a beaut.
Wave beam. Sorry, thunder shot. Alright. I guess a lot more internet is still running. Well, perhaps, yeah.
Presenting the Thunder Shot. Electric shock is effective against mechanical enemies. And I think you'll be able to provide electricity to devices. What do you think?
No crap. I was able to do that in the original Metroid Prime without anybody telling me. Maybe Silex is right. Maybe we need to destroy the Federation. Where's our gunship? With all the cool new guns? What do you mean cool new guns? It had the same things from Corruption. Nothing of it was cool aside from a little bit of a different color pattern. Oh my gosh. Oh. Oh, okay. Nice. I want to double make sure if I scan the thing from Carvex. 'Cause I'm pretty sure I did. Yeah, I had scanned Carvex. So I'm assuming this is Zelios. Whatever the spinning boss was. What I don't like is that I don't feel like these bosses have any rhyme or reasons with like what's going on. Because like, whatever this guy was called. It lived beyond thick ice where frozen shards dance on gale winds, and frigid breath meant any approach. and its mind was intolerance, living isolated and intemperate like an aloof warrior. It called itself Keratos. His nature was that of violence, and that at the peak of his fury, Keratos was known to throw his giant body at any who might stoke his rage, or spin so quickly that icy pillars will form. It was through communication with Therash that a warmth took root on his heart. Slowly his rage subsided and he became more taciturn. In time, the calmer, Keratos would be hailed as a guardian of deity for the Lamorn. But like this guy, you fight him in like in like the ice belt room called Quarantine Zone at the bottom of the research facility, where the Lamorn are trying to like save the Grievers from like their mutation and stuff like that, and like that just this guy doesn't have anything to do with the Metroid fusion or the green energy. I thought it'd be like a great Patient Zero type of stuff, you know. What's your opinion on Volvagia? I mean, Fenoros? He was a whatever-ish. It is unknown when this massive snake-like creature first appeared in the lava lake of Magdradra volcano. What is known is that it is intelligent, capable even of complex thoughts, and calls itself Fenoros. Fenoros draws his strength from the consumption of the lake's lava. I thought it was the green energy. It's protected from danger thanks to the body covered in solid rock, and breathes scorching flames from its mouth when threatened. Fortunately, Fenoros and the Lamorn have held a strong friendship for a long time, and it was the friendship that led Fenoros allowing construction of the facility at the Crater Lake. So how come this green energy like wiped out the Lamorn, but not these guys? Not all Lamorn controlled power from within.
Oh, hello.
In a place. Oh, thanks for the follow, Ghosty. In a place where dark clouds never clear, endless lightning slices the sky, and the wind, rain, rage, our forebears laid the foundation for the machine era. Here, 3 giant towers were built, piercing the dark sky. These would become the birthplace of a tool able to race across the land on spinning wheels. But this harsh environment proved unsustainable for Lamorn people. That's why the Lamorn technologists created an artificial life form to oversee the towers and named this life form Zelios. Its singular directive was to seek the happiness of the Lamorn, with command of the electricity flowing through the towers and the machines connected to them. It could follow its directive as it chose. Even now, with the machine era long past, Zelios seeks happiness of the Lamorn. Alright. Yeah, it said it agreed energy to keep itself alive for eternity. There's green phase on? Yeah, this just feels like a cheaped out baby version of the original Metroid Prime. With no platforming, no lore, and no exploration. It feels more like Metroid Prime try to be Batman Arkham meets Halo than Metroid Prime.
Samus, welcome back.
Oh, I thought they might be talking, you know? Thank you, Mandalorian. I also find it funny because I feel like half of my shots never make it. Wow. Question: if Metroid Prime died in Metroid Prime 3 Corruption, why does this game exist? Well, the Metroid Prime title is gotta do less with the timeline and the stories and more like a way to market that this is a first-person perspective Metroid game. That's the way I've sort of like interpreted. This is not even going into the logbook. This game exists because back in 2006 has made this game called Metroid Prime Hunters, which was just like a multiplayer shooter for the Nintendo DS, but they decided to go ahead and make it a full-on Metroid lore and experience of sorts. Which biggest issue was just the fact that, you know, this game was limited, was like you know, a Nintendo DS game, so like they didn't really have the technology to put all of their ideas into Vision. So then like a year later, Metroid Prime 3 comes out, and upon finishing the game on 100%, it teases this guy called Celux, chasing Samus, and then you know, all that time passed. And I guess that the lore was that there was no lore, or no gameplay, or no exploration. There's no like moment in Chozo Ruins when you first arrive there, and the room in the main Great Hall has like 5 doors that you could go into, and what have you. And so that way you could kind of get lost or get your bearings in the world, let the atmosphere sink in, and as you're making your way to the first boss, the Hive Mecha, you notice you could look back at the map and realize that there's 3 missiles that you could collect along your way. One of them becomes accessible the moment you get the power-up and you're backtracking towards the next thing. So there's not much of an option here to get lost or whatever, and like, a lot of it is just cinematic Disney amusement park type rides, like that the part with Fury Green where you're just chasing the isopod, or the Flare Pool movie in which you're with Duke and Armstrong powering up these things. That there rarely is like more moments like an ice belt where you're actually forced to try and find a way forwards. The corruption tease leads to Federation Force? Yes and no, not directly. But yes, in the sense that, like, Celux was there, and that game was just teasing Celux. This game feels so weird. It feels scared of changing stuff that would improve the Prime formula, but add so many meaningless stuff. I don't think it's even adding anything that could improve the formula, just making it a little bit worse. You unlock the Lamorne legendary birds thing, yeah. Hunters is significantly more interesting way to evolve the Metroid formula than this game. When the DSE attempted to improve the formula with actual aiming and more open design, ironically, I think Hunters deserves Prime 4 title more than Prime 4. No, yeah, I agree. I feel that the things that Hunters was trying to do was a little bit more interesting, because though being sort of linear like this game, I was able to look past it, because there was a few points where the game was like, well, wherever you go next, it's up to you, kiddo. Try and see where you can go. There was no hint system. They added like the hunters and all of their weapons as instead of like the regular power-ups, just to make it different. And like, again, it was like a $40 in a DS, not like a $60 Switch One, you know. Like, I know the game development is getting more and more expensive, but all I was asking is something along the lines of like the 2002 Metroid Prime game, with in terms of like, all right, platforming and things hidden in the world because I had to pay close attention to it, and while backtracking, there's multiple ways to reach the maps because the areas are sort of interconnected, not only in terms of the map, but also in terms of their themes and how they're playing to a bigger point in the story. In the case of Metroid Prime 1, it's just like all the secrets behind what the phazon is until you reach the mines. And then you have the lore with the Chozo, the lore of the space pirates mixed with the lore of the actual planet. And the, like, your power-ups were used to get other power-ups. I did not have to go back to my gunship when I got the plasma beam just so I could use the plasma beam. You know? I'm not walking around in a barren desert so that Mackenzie can call me and tell me that I should probably go to Ice Belt because that has a door I haven't opened with the electrical shot. Unless it's in Flare Pool. Like, I haven't had a reason to backtrack to Fury Green that's not go see Mackenzie, give him the chip, and then he gives me the beam. It's not like, well, I backtracked to Fury Green in the same way I backtracked to Talon Overworld, and I found the down frigate, and it comes with its own music and its own areas and its own lore. Yeah, no, I get it, Mewtwo. Trust me that with the Pokemon thing that you're saying, I'm in the same boat as you with that. The thing is, I can't really force myself to enjoy something that isn't the thing that I wanted to, that I bought, you know? Like, I don't even feel it's like corruption centered, because I feel corruption did so much characterization with such few sentences, and it still had the lore and the world building and the platforming and the backtracking. And at least in each one of the areas, you were taking out like different objectives to reach the Leviathan seed. And one, you had to power up your gunship and find the generator so that gunship with its bigger firepower can destroy it. And then the other one, you're building a freaking bomb and moving the entire city over to the seed so you can bomb the thing. And then in the other one, you gotta like find a way to lower the force field and allow a full-scaled like invasion on the pirate homeworld. You know, I'm not really enjoying much of what I'm playing here, and I feel like it's mostly like I want to say I'm enjoying it because I waited so long and it's got all the Metroid bells and whistles, but this isn't Metroid. Have a right to do some of the non-Metroid things because it wanted an explosive ending to the Phazon story. Yeah, but even then, it's still like the lore is still building more to the cosmic horror that is Phazon, you know? And adding more layers to it with the corruption and how it's affecting different people and how its influence consume all of the space pirates to basically launch this full-scale invasion across the planet to across the galaxy so that Phazon could like assimilate all life around it. So I feel like there was a bigger stake in that game that you could feel in a natural build-up from what the other two stories were doing. Like, if this game was called Federation Force 2, Electric Boogaloo featuring Takabi, then I'd be fine, but it's Metroid Prime 4. I've been spending more time in the stream chat talking to you guys than playing the game. I fought a boss, watched some cutscene in the after the fact with the escape pod. Then Samus bikes out of there, fades to black. She bikes out of there, go to Volforge. Went down 3 or 4 elevators, fought Celux 1, went back to Fury Green, got this, and now I'm hoping that this is the right way I'm going. And remember, among those, there's all these loading screens. I'm fighting the same 2 or 3 enemies in each area. So I don't know, chat, like, with the people who are enjoying this, it's like, there's not even fun things to fight. Like, in the other one you had, like, the dudes underwater, and, like, the space pirates, and the aerial troopers, and beetles, and scarabs, and the tentacle things that came out of the walls, and the war wasps with their hives, and the Sheegoths, and the baby Sheegoths, and how the mini-boss Sheegoth turns into it. Into a regular enemy, similar to like the plated beetle. Oh my gosh, more Grievers. Similar to how... Oh wait, I can activate that thing now. Hold on, Mr. Grievers. You can... And then there was the toads that like ate you when you had... and you had to like use the Morph Ball when they ate you to blow them up. And here I'm fighting Grievers who just occasionally dodge my attacks because they got psychic powers. I also remember fighting the little ice guys and Phendrana Drifts, Chozo Ghosts. The Lumigex, the Phazon Mines, the Glider guys that you have to grapple beam, Sonic Shriek Bats, Shadow Troopers, Elite Pirates. The boss battles were good, and the set pieces, I don't think so. I feel like they had fun mechanics, but the mechanics is just shoot the enemy in the weak point, and then there's a lot of movement and dodging. There's no boss that made me like, alright, and now I have to turn into the Morph Ball and Boost Ball into the enemy, or lay down some bombs, and then maybe grapple beam the weak point out of it, and all this other stuff. You know? It's just shoot, 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 shoot some more, and then the boss is dead. Sound salty? I'm not salty. I'm just disappointed. Is all. Why is it? Why do I have to be salty? Towards what? I was hyping up this game. I was expecting a Metroid Prime experience, and what I get is something pretending to be Metroid Prime that did not see full development and has a lot of padding, with a bunch of loading screens and walking back to Mackenzie's and stuff like that, and not much lore. By the way, first playthrough 100% or not? I mean, I was gonna do 100% just so I could see like the true ending, and that way I can like, you know, think my thoughts and play with you guys, see how the item collecting fares compared to the other games. Especially given that it's only like 100% items. Well, I'm assuming it's only 100% items because of the way these Prime games have always been like more of the 100%. Rather than like the scans, which is just for more artwork and stuff like that. It's 100% of the crystals, by the way. Wait, the 100% is just the crystal? It's really the crystals? I thought it was the items, because like, you know, here's a... I'm assuming it's just the items because it's just showing me the item percentage. Spider Ball. Chat, what are the requirements for the best ending in the game? Galactic Federation Battle Android? "100% items and scans? No way. No way. Gosh, what is this game?
Scanning for hostiles.
It's padding. Or Silex Emu of you. And there's where the scum makes itself known, the Emu.
995, Galactic Federation Golem Pilot.
Oh, I love his voice. I got a little robot friend.
I'm receiving signals from the Federation base. Perhaps we are out of range. I will accompany you.
Okay, why couldn't it just be this robot? Why do I need the other Federation guys?
BUP 995, Galactic Federation Golem Pilot. Reporting for duty. If you would like me to clear the way, please scan the obstacle. If you would like me to clear the
Oh
way,
my gosh.
please scan the obstacle.
I've only met him and I really like him. He's so chunky, his voice is very chunky.
This door is blocking your way. Allow me to assist.
Like, I feel like...
It's clear.
I feel like this would have been the perfect thing.
Forward. Please let me know when I can clear the way.
The Federation gimmick that they're doing. Just put view, I guess. Like, he's a little beep boop robot, and kind of fits with the tone of what the other Metroid games were doing with, like, the Atom robot, but now it's like an actual Galactic Federation bleep bloop who can be like, Samus, I was scanning the area, and I found this type of stuff. And because he's so, like, robot and stuff, it would help with Samus's body language and making her, like, the difference between an actual machine and something that behaves machine-like with, like, Samus and stuff.
Affirmative.
Tokavi? I don't like Tokavi, chat. I'll be honest. I find him the weakest, because all I see is just the Mandalorian. Solon is just another, this is the way. Or so I think, you know?
If you would like me to clear the way, please stand the obstacle.
This guy's... I do have a soft spot for big chunky robots, but... At least, like, I guess I'm using him to punch stuff, you know? Shoot the beams at him for fun dialogue?
You should be able to destroy it.
Thank you.
Error burning. Temperature dropping. Invigorating. Please be respectful.
Oh. Alright, Chet, just... Alright, View. Oh, wait for me, little friend. Like, hear me out. I feel like he can... Oh, this is that temple I saw on the horizon. Maybe this area will be slightly different. Am I actually going into a different section? Oh, no. Oh, okay, it's just View.
I will scout the area for an exit.
Sweet. Like, I feel like maybe View can do the job of all the Federation troopers in one go. He's like, he's got heavier equipment than Tokavi's sniper rifle and Sarge's machine gun. Or, seems to be the case that he can punch these walls. Given that he's a beep boop, I'm sure he knows something about engineering and robotics. So, no need for Mackenzie. And again, I don't know what Armstrong's deal is, aside from maybe being like the rookie.
Shadi Haro Hinara Tanagesh Osamate Fantalit Sagashaden Din Sakula Gamad Kilakastin Alem Fishana Akazan Kran Tek Tunakel Salesh Sake Lamor Jataneth Dangeti Salesh Entelam Madenat Gatlata Lamor Kasaladich Tunakel Salesh Asakarich Sostelanak Tingashunath Malda Tekanich Zalstelen Sistelanaka Din Libasil Musanich Kitanajin Malda Tekindam Geti Selesh Zalstelen Chatsaga Bashalan Delantico Salate Virus Klashanich Din Salam Zahel Aegis Tangalatin Sasek, Jakham Galet, Hamas Lamor, Nalda Tekanich Ageti. Kaladich. Osman, Shukameth, Brazil.
Alright. That felt like a bunch of nothing because it just... So I guess that the only piece of new information I can get in terms of lore is that maybe at the end of the game, Samus will get exposed to a lot of green energy and she herself will mutate because she wasn't born with a crystal but was embedded a crystal. I still don't know why the Lamorne, how the Lamorne knew that the green energy would have been beneficial for their plans to the point that they just made it rain across the planet. It just kind of feels like whatever. Oh wait, maybe there's something here. Seek the depths to ascend the stars, prove your worthiness. If you truly are the chosen one who has claimed the sacred relic, prove yourself and climb our path along the ice wall. Only the one with the strength to crawl from the bottom of the earth and reach the top will earn our faith. This is just lore squeezed in, not lore squeezed in with a puzzle to make it seem as there was lore. Like, where's the tests? How did you know that this would be beneficial to you? The space pirates knew that phasing would be beneficial for them because they were doing all these tests before they started doing before they decided to move ahead and do Project Helix. Oh, I found that. Let me guess, I'm getting Spider Ball now. Because green is a creative color? No, green is not a creative color. You're not real you. You're your digital you. Virtually real and controlled by real you. If he's not quite real, then I'm not real too. And you're not a real you. It's inside the real you. In the Metroid subreddit, it was shown that scanning in this game is twice as slow as the original game. Everything in this game feels twice or 3 times slower than the original game. And in my eyes, it feels almost like if it were done on purpose to just pad out the hours. Because I look at the playtime, and it says that like I'm close to like the 10 or I don't know how many, maybe 6 hour mark. By that time in Corruption, I felt like I was already at like the pirate homeworld, and I had done all of this other stuff. It makes me just want to go play Xenoblade X, if I'm not lying. Like, if you want more Metroid lore, get Psychic Spider Ball. Do you think New 2D Metroid in 26 will save the franchise for you? I mean, I wouldn't say that the franchise is dead for me. It's more that this game is. Like, if I were honest, it's gonna be a little bit harder for me to do videos on this game because there's not much to talk about this game, and compared to Echoes or Corruption or even Dread. So it's not so much about saving or not saving, it's more so the fact that, like, I hope that the next Prime, like, the next Metroid game, especially if it's Prime, needs to, like, convince me now. No more blind faith. Oh, that goodwill. You know. You know what I just noticed? I think you get most of the power-ups doing simple puzzles. Yeah, I do get something from the bosses, but it doesn't tend to be, like, something too crazy. There's not mini-bosses like in Echoes. You know? Some of them you use the Morph Ball. Tether node placed using Psychic ability. Oh, okay, so I can tether these. Like, I'm almost 8 hours into the game, but I don't feel like I've done nearly as many, whoa, that was cool, as in the other 3 games, or even the 2D ones, which have a shorter, like, runtime. Like, in the original Metroid Prime, an 8-hour playthrough seems like the average of what it takes a person to beat it blind. And they've experienced everything with the story, because of the way a lot of the story is just conveyed through the environment, you know? You might have not noticed, but your brain did. After Federation Force and Prime Force clear, Tanabe doesn't understand its fan base. I don't think that Tanabe understands how to make what made these games magical. This is definitely not... This feels like closer to a Federation Force type of experience than a Metroid Prime type of experience. I haven't had to platform in a single room to get across. Like, it usually takes me around 4 to 5 hours to 100% the original Metroid Prime with scans. And I feel that, as I've said, in those 4 to 5 hours, I've experienced way more content that I have in this, where it's always Grievers, Cybots, and the spinning dice. So now that I have the Spider Ball, I guess I can go to those Phazon mines. Well, I'm assuming they're like Phazon mines, given how this game, and like I said in my shower thoughts, I felt it as though it's just retreading the original Metroid Prime, or like soft rebooting it. Did I not activate the robot? Could have sworn that there was like a robot here that I could activate with the beam. Oh, maybe he's over there. I feel like the main difference is that I don't think Tanabe had to do with the Phazon and all that stuff. He was just there as executive producer. I feel all that stuff was the, you know, the brainchild of all the OG dev team. These beams suck. Oh, there it is. You can check the locks and realize that there are no space pirates. I don't need to check the locks to realize that there's no space pirates. I'm 8 hours into this game. And there's no space pirates, nor Silex, no Lamorne lore. Aside from, we built bikes, we fucked ourselves with the green energy. Please plant fruit on other planet. Psychic abilities. How are you finding the game? Have you tried the mouse control yet? Well, I don't have a Switch 2, so I cannot try out mouse control. And I'm not really enjoying too much the game. I feel very underwhelmed and very misled by all the trailers and stuff like that. I feel like I'm playing a AAA game that's just trying to disguise itself more as a Metroid Prime game than the magic of what the other games introduced with like their worlds and their lores and their platforming and all that marrying together to one another to tell a story. Meanwhile, here I'm like padding and loading like I'm gonna go and do another loading screen right now to get back into the desert. There wasn't even like a big temple area over there. It was just like 2 or 3 rooms. It wasn't like, oh, the Ice Valley. I feel like I saw more stuff in the Chozo temple leading to Shigoth, with the Chozo statue of the guy who was holding the plane of the universe between its hands. Or the other statues on the top that you could scan and just get these little bits of tidbit and lore that explain more of how the Chozos ascended to these spiritual things. So these maps are not really connected with one another. Like, you don't see Voltforge creating stasis pods to bring into Ice Belt to continue the experiments, or energy from Lava Forge, Flare Pool. Sorry. And a lot of it just feels like retreads of the original Metroid Prime. 13 Lamorne priests instead of 14 Chozo artifacts. A colored MacGuffin that changes the creatures on a molecular level. Plasma, Ice, Wave Beam again, but in reverse order. It plays the original Metroid Prime song at one point. When you're riding the bike. I am the chosen one rather than the entrusted one. And it's not like you know, the Luminov, where the Luminov more or less were just like sending a prayer up into the space, while this ones were like more like, oh, a chosen one. Oh, it's a mech part. Oh, okay, so at least juts it down on the map for me. "2025 is cursed for Metroid. Both decade-long awaited Metroid projects, X Fusion and Prime 4, turn out to be fairly mid." Well, oh, it was behind me. Yeah, all these rooms are just flat and uninteresting. There's nothing to scan or read that might give you just a hint of what goes in the world, and you don't have to jump in order to go anywhere. Now we're back on the bike. What? What? What do you mean they all went for the mine? So it is a mine. So yeah, I guess we got Phendrana Drifts, Talonal World, Magmor Carbons, and Phazon Mines at home. Volforge at least is unique. And theming and content, so there it is. Can't believe I'm going. The final area is a reboot of just Metroid Prime, a soft reboot, so that we can make our own different trilogy, the Silex trilogy. Boy, oh boy, if that's the thing, I think I'm gonna hop off the train, Chief. Another loading screen. I mean, it's not even new Metroid Prime combat, because none of my beams really... There's no really sense of progression for me in this game. Because I don't feel like I'm proactively getting stronger with each one of these shot upgrades. In part because I'm fighting the same 2 or 3 enemies in every single room, despite of what might be the objective or the scene of the area. And then because none of these beams seem to be killing anything faster, quite like the wave beam, at least sort of halting the space pirates in place. Or the ice beam, which makes up for its atrocious slow bullets and firing rate for like being able to freeze the enemies and shatter them with a missile combo. Or just the plasma beam at the end that just, like, you know, incinerates enemies. So I feel like back to the Prime 3 progression, where like I felt like the plasma beam and the nova beam did really not much anything. No, I just have to scan this. I just find it hard as like a player, a Metroid fan, to recommend this over remaster. With the Switch version of this game costing $30 more than the remaster. But the remaster are offering like a full story and stuff. All that for like a loading screen.
Oh, hello.
Thank you for the follow, Basley. With that said, I really do hope that if you guys do enjoy my Metroid stuff, that you consider following and checking out all the other videos. I really do love these games a little bit too much. And they hold, the original Prime trilogy holds like a very special place in my heart. So like, I do plan on playing the other games and all this other stuff. It's kind of neat how the main boss does charge after some multi-shots like in Prime Hunters. I guess so. I have seen so many "this is my first Metroid" posts. Yeah, that's what makes me like sad and worried, is that this formula becomes the norm moving forward, because I just don't think it's Metroid. Someone like Zelda shrines so much they put 6 shitty ones in this game. So I got Super Flare Shot. Let's see how it looks. Sorry, Fire Shot. Alright. Yeah, I know where I have to go, Mackenzie. Like, this can't be it, right? There's no new power-ups or anything? Like, am I just gonna get super missiles and power bombs now? Because those are the only two things I haven't gathered yet. Honestly, like a game like Other M was still in the formula. It was just one of the linear Metroid formula. But this game kind of tries to force Metroid formula into an open world without even committing to that open world. I mean, the thing for me is that Other M, from the get-go, was already advertised and sold as being something different. Take it as it's called Other M, you know, not Metroid 5, not Metroid Dread, not Prime 4. If they call this like Metroid Prime Federation Force 2 or something along those lines, then like I feel like it's you know, it's like it's trying to do 5 different things at once. Like if 5 different dev teams were working on this, and none of them were really talking to each other and how all these different elements would come together, be it in a world or anything. And I felt like the original Metroid Primes already had enough hand-holding to the point that, like, even as a 10-year-old back at the time, I was able to complete these games, get 100% no less, without needing to like go and look for a guide or having a Mackenzie guide just telling me just where to go. Because I feel like one of the main issues with Other M, aside from obviously the writing and stuff, is just that the game itself suffered from the fact that it was like a 3D action game, kind of like Bayonetta, but it's controlled with a Nintendo NES controller. Oh my gosh! Hey, thanks for the tip, by the way. Elian. A few years ago, I had a dream about Prime 4. Playing it gave me the same sensation I did when playing the trilogy. This game did not match that at all. Yeah, me neither, dude. I feel like this is just a complete departure from what the other games has, but it just has enough of the Metroid Prime puzzles, musics, and power-ups, and go back to this room for me to be like, yeah, no, it's like the other Prime games, you know? And it's sort of disappointing in that regard because I wasn't expecting Beyond to be better than the trilogy or anything along those lines. I bought the game and I said that I was going to give it the fair chance as everything else, and try out these ideas and see what they did. But now that I'm playing it and I'm not like platforming and I'm fighting the 3 or so enemies, like it makes me feel like all of those videos I did just trying to voice what makes the magic of these games were like for nothing. This is 10 times better than Other M? I don't think so, chat. I really don't think so. I would equate this to perhaps worse just because it's padding so much. There's no platforming, and I feel so inconsequential in the story. Like I can't even get a beam upgrade. Like one thing was Adam authorizing me my weapon, But the other thing is me grabbing an item, defeating Silex, and then having to go and talk to Mackenzie so he can authorize the use of my weapon. So I had to sit through 3 or 2 loading screens in order to get my new beam upgrade. Also, the Metroid Prime in my dream involved Fentoon as the main villain. They did not want to bring me back. It's like, I feel like at least the story of Other M, for all the issues it had like a vision on what it wanted to tell. The type of story that it wanted to tell. And in here, it feels like there's like 10 different story points, but they're not coming together in any way. I don't know how the Lamorne have to do with Silex and the Metroids and the green energy and how to get into the tower. And there was at least moments that I would like to, in Other M, that I wanted to go look back, and some boss fights that I found interesting, or spooky sections that I found generally, like, spooky and stuff. And, well, this is kind of cool, a little spider ball track, I think. And there's nothing wrong with anybody preferring this to Other M. Again, don't let me stop you from enjoying the things that you enjoy. But it's just coming from just, like, I guess the perspective of a guy who plays way too many Metroid games. And way too many Metroid-like games that I feel that, like, you know, in a day and age where we have so many Metroidvanias that cost way less than this, or games that take the same, spooky atmosphere with deep interconnected lore and worlds, like Crow Country or Signalis or Hollow Knight or Blasphemous, or there's so many to name, even Guacamelee to a degree. Yeah, why would you spend your time with this type of padding if only for the fact that it's called Metroid Prime 4? The game feels like it was made for a new audience that never played a Prime game, and everything is dumbed down in order to appeal to the general failure fan base. I 100% agree with that. It just feels like they try to, I don't know, AAA it to be able to sell it to as many people as possible, and so that we would get the maximum amount of people going like, well, I enjoyed it, I found this, and all this other stuff. But then you look at the fact that it costs more than the Prime Remaster, and it's got more padding than the Prime Remaster, and less lore, and less cathartic moments after defeating the bosses. Because the bosses don't even make sense for the areas they are in, except for maybe, I guess, Zelio and Carvex. But there's no build-up to Carvex in the same way as Flagra poisoning the waters in the Chozo Ruins, or Zelio's just being an orb. He's literally just an orb. I even get the devs, like, the benefit of the doubt that, like, perhaps the AAA of the games they worked before was something owed to, like, you know, corporate meddling, which, you know, I wouldn't be surprised if it's the same case, given it's this modern era of Nintendo. But, like, wow, you know. How was your battle with Silex? Very underwhelming. I thought he was cool, but he only had like 2 mechanics, no presentation, no build-up, and no payoff. He just shows up, we fight, he does a couple of moves, I shoot at him, and then he turns into a Cybot, and then Mackenzie calls me to go back to meet him. There's no like mystery or dread, as like when you fight against Dang Samoza, and you're like, ooh. And the thing I hate the most is that there's like lore stuck around here. Right? I'm sad. Yeah, me too, dude. Me too. Salix was my favorite of the guys from Prime Hunters. Chat, you do not understand, like, I feel like I'm gonna take a picture of my Hunter's license for my DS cartridge from when I was a kid, assuming it hasn't died, and just be like, wow.
If you're not sure where to go, you can always call in and ask me. You can reach me through the radio command on the map.
Mackenzie, shut up, man. I know how to contact you. I love your videos, by the way. Oh, thanks, man. It really means a lot. I always am happy when I get to see you guys enjoying the videos and all this other stuff, and do know that when I make my videos, they all come from a place of passion. Yeah, even when it's talking about things that I personally don't dislike, that I dislike and stuff. So do keep in mind that it'll be the same when it comes to Beyond. It's just that I'm kind of like underwhelmed. Like, even I felt that Ravenbeak, for how little I knew of him, and how little stuff happens and stuff like that, said so much about his character and implications towards Samus's past and the Chozos in general, that like my mind still wonders about it. But I've kind of noticed that when I play this game in between sessions, my brain doesn't really come back to the lore of the Lamorne or anything. Just to shower thoughts that point out how much more this game feels like a retread of Metroid Prime. Wow, there's something actually at the edge of the map that I cannot get. Sweet, I guess. Modern Nintendo feels like all for show and no substance. Yeah, I mean, don't you remember when Tears of the Kingdom costed $70? It also came with basically no story. And then they told us to buy the $60 Hyrule Warriors spin-off game so that we can witness the, quote, canonical events of the Tears of the Kingdom game. I guess I can't wait until I can buy Federation Force 2 and get the canonical events for this game.
Samus,
Yeah, but Ravenbeak was talking to you all the time in Metroid Dread. That's the magic of it. When you play the game again and you have that in context, it changes everything.
the bridge controls are on the other side of this gap. What do you think?
I think that I will morph ball my way and open the bridge, and you guys will cross it.
Down into the mines. You'll want to be careful underground. I'm not getting.
It's like, I really can't believe that the final area is just a phase on
Ready when
mines.
you are, Samus.
It's like, I sat through so many years of people complaining about the Chozo artifacts and the Echo Sky Temple keys that I don't know how this game is padding and slowing you down and making you collect the green energy on a desert with no music. And then I guess the Golem mechs parts equates to something much more engaging, rather than like finding these artifacts that have been hitting in plain sight throughout the game that you've been playing. And by the way, you can collect 9 out of the 14 of them before we ask you, before you get the phasons here. It's no spoilers, but you enter the worst part of the game. Oh my gosh, don't say say those things. Ah. Was he in Talon 4? Did he ever encounter Phazon? How he connects to the manga origins of Samus, like Ravenbeak, changed the entire lore of the series. Excitingly, while, well, I can't say yet. Yeah, I mean... Alright. I hate the Tears of the Kingdom brand for the wild era of Zelda. It feels like mindless interactions in the open world for the sake of interactions. Yeah, I concur. I feel like I was able to give it more of a pass when Breath of the Wild came out. Came out because like it was new and it was trying out to test things and all this other thing. That the main thing I wanted from its sequel was like, all right, just now flesh out the lore and give me more of a rhyme and reason,
What is it?
or side quests similar to the Majora's Mask formula.
Reavers inbound.
Oh.
Multiple contacts.
Well, look at this guy. He's so cool with his sniper rifle. I can't believe I'm seeing a zombie invasion in my Metroid game. This is not Metroid. Yeah, do it, View. He's the only one I like. Alright guys, I think you should all go back to like base camp and stay there. This is too dangerous. It's not even like in Dread where Samus did like all these badass stuff that really sold how strong and experienced and smart she is at dealing with like unwinnable odds. Oh. No, in Metroid Prime 2 there weren't zombies, there were like things that the Ings were possessing. These hellspawns, cosmic horror things that were created because of the Phazon reacting to the light of Aether. And because they were part Phazon and they understood who Samus is from the first game. And thus know that she's a threat because she destroyed the Leviathan Seed on Talon 4. And so they're using these bodies from the Federation to just be able to be in the Light Aether and take down Samus before she has even a chance at doing anything. So, like, it's, sure, reanimated bodies, but in this case it's more like literally the zombie horde shows up. And I guess no robot, and I'm stuck with... No puede ser que se llama así.
So this is the belly of the beast, huh? Not impressed.
Yeah, me neither, Sarge. Me neither, Duke.
Whoa. This place is huge.
Remember the introduction to the original Phazon mines, and you saw the Phazon and you can fall on it before you took the elevator and it dealt so much damage to you? And you arrive in the first room of the Phazon mines, which, by the way, also has multiple doors. And there's the space pirates, and it's all got this spooky music and whatever. Thanks for reminding me how much better of a game it was. Which one? It's like in the other games, they were using these things for horror and tension with what the Phazon can do. Why it's an abomination that we need to destroy. And this one is just like, well, turn the Lamorne into monsters. How's Beyond treating you? Terribly, Pawn. Also, happy birthday, Pawn. Chat, please do give Pawn a happy birthday and follow her on her own Twitch.tv. Pawn with 2 N's _ slime VT. She is our resident voice actress for Dark Samus in the Orpheon videos. So go give her some love. Prime 2, oh yeah. I mean, Prime 2 is my beloved. I feel like the story he's telling is at its strongest in Echoes. Happy birthday, Prawn Green Goop on Albert's. Green Goops on Albert. Thank you, Mewtwo. But yeah, like... I feel like the other games just understood how much of the story to actually tell you and how much of it being left for you to discover because you either looked at the environment and played with your imagination. Or, remember the bridge in Echoes? This is like that one time in the bridge in Echoes when Dark Samus blows it up. Remember when Dark Samus blowed up the bridge in Echoes? Prime 2 is a cut of prime rib compared to this McNugget. I couldn't put it better myself. I didn't see you have a party list on the left. Who's the one grieving? Well, both of them. They're both grieving. Because I'm doing all the work and all the mechanics. Like, why are they here with me? So you have another fail state. If they die, you lose. No puede ser.
Thank you, Samus.
Watch your step.
Yes, sir.
Let me guess. They're gonna fake me out with them dying halfway in it, but they don't die really, because this is like an MCU movie. So I'm playing Escort on the Phase on Mines. For characters who don't really have a reason to be here. Well, but thanks for at least giving me a heads up that, like, if they die, it's game over. This is so... whatever.
What do we have here?
Oh, no way.
Side, Sarge.
Ugh.
I don't like being underground.
Then go back upstairs.
Alive, no one would ever know.
What, does it bring back some memories?
I'll tell you some other time.
And by that some other time, I'm pretty much sure that never.
Let's catch our breath.
Okay. Yeah.
Oh gosh. How far away am I from like another save room checkpoint? I'm asking because I have a few things to do and I don't know how long this portion is. Or at least till like another save room where I could realistically quit the game. Annoyingly long? Oh boy. So will you say it's better to just save it for like a next stream? He got stuck on cleaning duty on Norian Underground were really shat on him. Yeah, alright. Man, thanks for the heads up, and I guess I'll do that. Okay, thanks for the heads up, chat. I also really appreciate one of you guys coming here and sharing your thoughts and experiences with the game as well. For me, it means a lot in general because I'm like, I just want to make sure it was just not A, me, or that B, there was other things that other people liked or disliked, just to take it into consideration. Because you never know, you know? You'll need mental energy next stream. Oh, gosh. Sounds like I'm gonna need to grab some popcorn tomorrow. I just wish you'd enjoyed it more. Well, I mean, me too, but like, there's not much for me to enjoy here because this is not like Prime 4. This is not like a Prime game. Like, it's a pretty looking game. It's a pretty sounding game. But it's a pretty linear, flat, uninspired game. I don't see a vision. Like, I can feel the soul of maybe what they wanted to do, but with how, whatever everything else, in the other one that, like, the lore and the lack of a lore compared to the original Prime and how much it's treading the same sort of story of Metroid Prime, that I can't help but wish that I was playing that other game instead, because by this point, when I reached the phase on Mines, I would have been like so pumped up to see how everything goes to an head. Meanwhile, this feels like I'm just watching a Marvel set piece after Marvel set piece after Marvel set piece with no lore or exploration or platforming or visual storytelling to just hold me to want to keep exploring or do even a new playthrough. You know, it's just like grab the green crystals. Go to the Phazon mines with these guys and escort them. For no, there's no much of a rhyme or reason to things, and all I was asking was a rhyme and reason. But like the reason I had to escort and deal with Federation troopers and corruption was in one portion at the tail end of the corruption invasion, so I had to do the entire planet homeworld exploration by myself. And then I'm just helping these guys because they have bigger equipment to destroy this gigantic, like, behemoth, like, superstructure of a wall that leads me to the seed. And here, Sarge, Armstrong, and the rest shoehorn themselves into the mines because they don't really even tell me. I'm just watching, I'm watching Samus babysitting a bunch of Federation troopers that got here for reasons I'm pretty sure they won't explain to me. And we'll go fight Silex for whatever reasons, and there's no, like, nothing. So I feel like severely misled with how the game was marketed and approached and all these other things, which is part of the reason I feel like this. But I do enjoy that. So like I said, if you enjoy the game, more power to you. Please don't let me change your opinions and stuff like that. But I do hope that it at least helps shed some light on why I wouldn't really call this a Metroid Prime experience. Not even like the best starting point. Because for that, I would rather just recommend people to play Zero Mission or Fusion or the original Prime. Imagine we go to the bottom of this, where I'm assuming this is where they harvest the green energy. If I go to the bottom of this and there's the Omega Griever, I'm just gonna lose it. Like, that would just tell me that there was no creative input in here. Like, you know, there's no, well, you get the keys and we put him here for these reasons or those reasons, and like, the green energy came out of the volcano. Yeah, I got that, but now I'm in these mines. So what were they mining in the mines? I guess the psychic energy crystals or whatever. Well, so like, it's very like much like no rhyme or reason to how these different areas of Euros connect to each other, and it thus sell a little bit more of like the Lamorne of people in quite the same way as the Luminov, or the Elysians, or the Reptilicas, or the Olympics, or even the Chozos, you know? But yeah, I'll save this portion for the next stream. If it's not tomorrow, or Thursday, then it's certainly on Friday. Like I said, I'm feeling a little bit ill. So I don't know how I would feel tomorrow and the day after. If I'm too sick or busy, then I'll probably just take it as a rest day, so that way I can be back and at it on Friday. But so like I do hope that you guys stay tuned for that. It'll probably be around the same time as always, sort of closer to noon Eastern Standard Time. It works easy for me and allows me to stream for people like Amerake and Mewtwo who are in the EU and stuff like that. But I will try and see if I can find a moment to squeeze some more more gameplay, like I said, in these past 2 days, but next coming days. But if not, then just assume I'm probably sick and resting. But probably Friday. Definitely would be back here and playing it. And like I said, thank you so much for tuning in, listening to my rants and stuff like that. Like I always, I just rather be transparent and honest with you guys than trying to pretend that I like or dislike something. But with all that said, I'm gonna go get some rest. I'm gonna go drink plenty of water. Thanks for the bit, Mewtwo, and for the reminder. I hope that everybody has a great day and a great week. Thank you so much, everybody, for your support with the videos and the Discord server and which there's a link in the purple chat, and the purple website, I should say, and all this other stuff. It really does mean a lot to me. I love being able to talk and see you guys. It's part of the reason I made this channel. Thanks for the passion videos. They inspire a lot. No, thank you, dude, for watching it. I'm just glad that all this brain rot that I put into the ether is being enjoyed by some people. So I hope I can continue to do the rest and stuff like that. With all that said, thank you so much. I'll see you guys later. Bye-bye.